Okay, today we're going to show you how to install the front roller guard. This says Pinsetter Solutions on it. It's the name of the company now is Pin Spotter Solutions, and no more Z, it's an S. The name was changed. Anyhow, the first thing we did, we've already drilled the hole so we can get this video to go faster, but we're going to show you how we had gotten to, where all the holes are. Anyhow, what we did first was you have to center the pin deck. The center of the pin deck is 20 7/8 inches. What we did is we used our Sharpie and we put a mark on the pin deck at center. That'll let us know where we need to put our painter's tape. So we want to center the painter's tape now on the center of the pin deck. Bring it down the tail plank. And now we're going to make that mark again at 20 7/8. Except this time on top of the painter's tape. We're going to use a square and we're going to extend that line down the tail plank. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure the height of the flat gutter opposite the ball door side. That's opposite the ball door side. We extend our straight edge over the flat gutter. We sit it on the pin deck, extend it over the flat gutter, and take the measurement. The measurement is 3.5 inches. What we're going to do is add 1 3/4 inches to that measurement. So it measured 3.5 inches plus the 1 3/4 inches, and that'll bring us to 5.25 inches. Next, we're going to set the square up at 5.25 inches. And we'll use that 5.25 inch measurement, and we'll put a line 5.25 inches down from the top of the pin deck across the line we had already made. So here it is set at 5.25 inches, the square. We're going to sit it on top of the lane, and we're going to make our mark at 5.25 inches. So there we have a line across the first line that we made. That's where we're going to drill our first hole. The drill bit we're going to use is a 1/8 inch drill bit. We already drilled the hole, so we'll remove the tape. We already have our hole there. The kit comes with 6 Spax screws and 1 much smaller Phillips screw. It's also a Spax screw, but it's much smaller. The reason it's much smaller is because in case you make a mistake, this screw is going to be used in the center of the mounting bracket of the front roller guard, in the center. And what we're going to do with that is we're just going to install the front roller guard against the pin deck with only this one screw in the center. And that'll allow us to balance the front roller guard up and down, left to right. And we'll put that screw in right now. And the reason we also use the thinner screw is that in case you make a mistake, you're only drilling a small hole in the pin deck, and in case you have to drill a different hole, either higher or lower, if you'd made a mistake, you're not putting big holes in the tail plank. That screw is not even going to be needed at the end of this installation. You could leave it in if you like, if not, take it out, but I'll show you what I mean. Okay, now that it's screwed to the lane, there's an adjusting screw here. You want to adjust the adjusting screw so that when you fold the front roller guard down, you don't want it to hit the carpet. So it just clears the carpet here, but on this side is a big gap, so we're going to level the front roller guard to the bounce plate. So we want the same gap on each side. So I can run my hand underneath here. We got pretty much the same gap. Once you have that, now the center screw, remember we put just the center screw in and we have it snug or pretty tight. So now once we level it left to right and it's level to the bounce plate, we now fold the front roller guard up and you can drill the rest of your holes. Just be sure that you don't move it. We've already drilled the rest of our holes, and what I'll do is I'll start installing them. Once you get good at this, the front roller guard shouldn't take more than maybe maximum 4 minutes to install, maybe 5. There's 6 screws we're going to put in. Loosened up on me. Okay, that is tight. Put the rest of the screws in. Now, when you put these screws in, we used a 3/16 drill bit. Please don't take the chance and not drill a pilot hole. Most tail planks are pretty brittle. They usually dry the wood, and if you try and put these in without a pilot hole, you're going to split the pin deck. Well, I just dropped the socket, so we won't put that last screw in right now for the video. But either way, you understand how it's going to work. Right now, it's screwed solidly to the back of the lane, and the gap on the front roller guard is pretty close left to right. You just want to get it in the ballpark. The main thing is that the front roller guard is lower than the flat gutter. See, we'll use our straight edge here. The front roller guard is lower than the flat gutter, so it cannot make contact with the ball when it's thrown. So that's a good height. It's fairly close left to right as far as the gap in between the front roller guard and the bounce plate. But we're going to bring that down. I'm going to bring it down a little closer. You want it on its closest side, maybe 1/8 of an inch from the carpet. That's not bad. It's, maybe that's about 1/4 inch, which is pretty good. And then what you just do is the 2 screws that you use to adjust the adjusting screw, these 2 nuts I should say, you just tighten those up and the installation is done. And that's it. Looks pretty